What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Suicide Squad. So this game has been hot topic for a little while now, quite some time. This game has been out for about a week, and a lot of people have a lot of things to say. I got my hands on it opening day, February 2nd, and I ended up beating it by. It just took me a couple days just to get through the story there. Really enjoyed it overall, but today I just want to go break down a review. I have 5 different categories that I wanted to go over today. With these categories, I feel like it's essential for a third-person looter shooter game such as Suicide Squad to excel in these categories that I picked today. So we're just gonna go through our first category. I want to talk about are the characters. So this game, Suicide Squad, you start off with 4 characters: Harley Quinn, you have Deadshot, King Shark, and Captain Boomerang. Um, all 4 of these characters were super fun to play, in my opinion. All 4 of them were unique. They were different, of course. In this type of game, everybody is shooting guns, so it may feel the same. But when you add in the traversal for each character, it makes it feel super different. With that being said, I did feel like Deadshot as a character was a little bland, like acting wise. Harley Quinn, King Shark, and Boomerang all had unique personalities. King Shark and Boomerang were hilarious the entire story, just with the things that they say and the things that they do. Same thing with Harley Quinn from time to time. But I did feel like Deadshot was kind of that serious tone. I understand you don't want to have 4 jokey characters, but having 3 jokesters and that serious tone, it kind of threw it off a bit for me. So I thought he did come off a little bland from time to time. But I did still enjoy the character. Waller, who puts together the Suicide Squad, I hated this character. So that means that they did a really good job. Dialogue was well. The way that she acted towards the her pretty much her employees, um, and it gets you to like. There was a few times in this game just playing it, I'm like, wow, I cannot stand this lady. Why is she talking to these guys like that? So that just means that it was great writing and great delivery on the character. And then Evil Justice League, I thought they handled pretty well. Going into the game, I was a bit skeptical, wondering how they were gonna go about it, or were they just gonna be like a zombie type brainwash to where they don't really talk, they just show up and fight and killing people, or will it delivery be weird? But I thought they handled it really well. So for this game, for all the characters, I'm gonna have to give it 8 out of 10. Again, I really enjoyed the way that they handle each and every character, and then in the future they'll be adding more characters. This is a live service game, so they'll be continuing to update it. So as they add more characters, I'm super excited to see the direction that they go with that. I got into this a little bit already, but the gameplay, I'm giving a 9 out of 10. Gameplay was really solid for me. The atmosphere was fun. That's another thing. The Suicide Squad that I know are from the 2 movies, and the movies have like this fun atmosphere surrounded around it, and I thought they handled it pretty well in a game. Again, you're fighting, doing the traversal, kind of whatever. There's jokes being thrown out there that kind of keeps the tempo upbeat. You're always overswarmed by enemies, but there's different ways to be able to take all the enemies out. The fighting styles, the concepts of the fighting styles, I thought were pretty well done. Each character again did feel different. My only thing why I couldn't give it a perfect score. King Shark, you have like a leap ability, which I thought was really cool. Captain Boomerang, you're able to use the Speed Force, which I thought was really unique. He was actually my favorite to play the entire game with, Captain Boomerang. Deadshot, you have a jetpack, so you get to fly around a lot. But I did feel like, in terms of gameplay, that Harley Quinn was a little bland for me. I didn't fully enjoy playing with Harley Quinn. She is still a fun character. And I do know some people who do enjoy playing her the most. Like, she wasn't bad to play with or hard to play with. Just from my personal liking, I liked playing with the other three a little better. But with all that being said, in play, I still have to give it 9 out of 10. Really, really solid there. Graphics, give it a 7.5. I do feel like the graphics were good. They weren't bad. They were good graphics. I do think they could have been a bit better in different areas. Sometimes you just sit like on the top of the mount on not mountain, but the top of a building and just look around. It's like they're okay. The graphics are solid. They don't feel like a next gen PS5 type graphics. Like I just got done playing, not just got done, but recently playing Spider-Man 2 and comparing it kind of to that, and even to the old Arkham. You can say that graphic wise, old Arkham series from what 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago, they were worse, but it's not like a great difference that you would think in 10 years. But again, the graphics weren't bad. Um, but I did think that it could have been just a tad bit better. Whether maybe it was the lighting that was a little bit off, and that could have been something that I messed with when I started the game. Um, but the graphics, I'm gonna have to give a 7.5 out of 10. Next category, boss fights. The gameplay that's going on in the background here are all of the boss fights. So the boss fights, you fight as you play as the Suicide Squad and you fight the Justice League. Now, before getting into this, I know the game is called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I don't. I wouldn't say that I really expected us to kill the Justice League, but the way that the story went, I wasn't mad at it. I thought they handled it as well as you could. Yeah, it wasn't perfect. There's some things you can nitpick on, but I thought they handled it as well as you could. So the first boss fight, you fight the Flash. He's the first member of the Justice League that you fight. I thought was pretty cool. Had multiple rounds to it. And very unique. He made tornadoes. He was running around pretty fast. Like it genuinely felt like you were fighting a Flash. It was hectic. You would see him in multiple places at the same time because insinuating just how fast he was running. Um, and I had a lot of fun with that fight. After that, you fight Green Lantern. Green Lantern fight was my personal favorite. I really like Green Lantern just as a character in general, so maybe there's a little bias there. But I also thought it was the most unique. So Green Lantern's fight, he created different constructs, and you will have to destroy each of the constructs he created, and it turned into the Yellow Lantern mana, which weakens Green Lantern. So that's how you were able to kind of destroy him because he shielded himself as well. So I thought that was just really well handled. It didn't just feel like, oh, I'm just gonna go in there and I get to shoot him. No, of course he's gonna protect himself, but there was ways to break down his shields and his barriers. So I thought they handled that pretty well. Again, this one was probably my favorite to play in out of all 4 boss fights or 5 boss fights. The next one was Batman's boss fight. Unfortunately, this one was my least favorite. It had a great, well, I couldn't say great, but a cool start to it. Kind of being stalked by, well, first, the entire game you're stalked by Batman, which I thought was really cool. Like, you could just be roaming the streets, you'll just be doing the missions, going throughout the story, and if you look up on one of the buildings, you'll see Batman staring at you and watching you, which I thought was really unique because in the Arkham games that we played years ago, that's how we played as Batman. You would stalk the enemies, you would see what they're talking about, see what their plan is, and then you come up with your plan to defeat your enemies. That's how you played the Arkham series. So the fact that it's flipped, I thought was fantastic. That was really, really well done. So then that starts off how his boss fight starts off, but then you get into actually fighting him after. Actually fighting him when he's in using the fear toxin, as you're seeing here. And it was just one health bar, one phase, and you just shot him. You just shot him in the chest, shot him in the head. He would swing every now and then and try to attack you. You just easily dodge and you keep shooting. It was very straightforward. It was I didn't like it the most. Um, yeah, I didn't. It's not too much else to say about it. I just didn't enjoy it. Was easy. I would say I enjoy a bit of a challenge, and even on a harder difficulty, which is what I played the game on, it was just too easy for me personally. Um, the next boss fight after you fight Batman and Superman, of course, his was my second favorite. His was super unique. He was using all of Superman's powers. He was breath. He was using his laser eyes. He was picking up um, heavy items and swinging them at you, swinging helicopters at you, pieces of buildings. Like it was really cool, really well done. So this one was my second favorite. And then you go into the final boss battle, which is against Brainiac, of course. Um, and this one was unique. It was fun. It was cool, but the only critique I have on it is that in this particular one, he's Brainiac, and then he clones himself and turns himself into the Flash. So then it's almost like a Flash Fight 2.0, which I thought was a little bit of a letdown. You go through the entire story, you fight each Justice League member, and then you get to the final boss battle, and then it's a repeat of the first boss battle that you did. Now he didn't do the exact same moves as a regular Flash did, but it was still just like fighting the Flash again. And then every now and then a horde of enemies will come, of his little minions will come. Um, so I was a little bummed out by that, um, but I can also look past that because that's what he did during the game. He cloned Flash and put it in some of his minions. Some of his minions run fast. He cloned Batman, and he has some stealth minions. So understand that that's kind of a part of what Brainiac does. But I was also hoping to fight Brainiac. And then quick spoiler warning. I know I already put one in the beginning of the video, but spoiler warning: you do fight this Brainiac, and you defeat him at the end of the game. But then you find out that there was a total of 13 Brainiacs across the multiverse, or Elseworlds is what they called in this game, Elseworlds. So you defeat this one, so now there's 12 left. So you're gonna continue as the game continues to progress in the story. You are going to continue to fight different Brainiacs. Now they did show a roadmap before the game came out, and it did show. It said, I want to say it said Brainiac infused Batman and Brainiac infused, or no, it was Brainiac infused Green Lantern and Brainiac infused Superman. So I'm hoping, well, I was hoping that it wasn't just a repeat of the fight, but it looks like that's the direction they're going. But again, there's 12 more Brainiacs we have to fight. But if he's already done the Flash, and then the next season he's gonna do a Green Lantern and a Superman, I wonder what direction they're going with that. Like, are they just gonna keep repeating all the way through for all 12? Or are they just gonna do each Justice League member once? Like, are they gonna throw a curveball in there and do a Wonder Woman one, even though she wasn't brainwashed in the game, she stayed good the whole game? Or are they gonna do it that way? Or are they gonna add other DC heroes maybe that we didn't see? Like, I'm really curious on how they're gonna go about that. What I personally would rather have, if they are going to do the infused, you can go through the rosters, but that last and final Brainiac, let it be Brainiac. I know he was in Injustice 2, I believe, the fighting game. So I know, like, Brainiac himself, like, he can squabble. Like, I know he doesn't just clone people. So I wonder. I'm very, very curious on how they're gonna go about the rest of those. But because of the not liking the Batman as much, and then kind of a repeat of the last boss battle was kind of a repeat, and it looks like the future boss battles will be repeats. It takes the score down a little bit, but I still enjoy playing the boss battles at the end of the day. So 7.5 for boss battles. And then the last one here, cosmetics, the skins. I thought the skins in this game were perfect. The Justice League looked great. Flash suit looked fantastic. Superman looked fantastic. Batman, of course, we already have seen Batman before. Wonder Woman looked great. All of the skins for the Suicide Squad members look really cool. They have different skins in the store, old school skins, uh, like a comic accurate skin. The design that they decided to go, the default design for the game was still really good, and then you can change the colorway, you can mix and match. That's one of my favorite parts of looter shooters. Or maybe not, yeah, looter shooters, but also third person games, is because when it is third person, I can see my own skin. In a first person game, or specifically first person shooter, skins are cool, but I can't see it, so I can kind of care less what skin I have. In a third person, I just enjoy being able to see the skin myself. Um, so I thought just the way that they handled the skins, and I can see it myself. It looked great, so I'm excited to see what they add. Um, I'm a big comic book fan, more Marvel, but I enjoy DC as well. So I know there's a plethora of skins, out there. Whether um, they continue to add the hero skins and put it on the villains. Like I know Harley Quinn has a Wonder Woman skin, King Shark has a Superman skin, Boomerang has a Flash skin, and then Deadshot has a red version of a Batman skin. So whether they continue to add the hero skins, put a small spin to it and give it to the villains, or just whatever they add, I think they'll do a really good job. They was already off to a good start. So for the cosmetics, I'm giving them an 8 out of 10. The one thing why I couldn't give the score higher is because they have the skins that you get during the challenges, which I thought were pretty cool, but all of the great skins you have to pay for. Um, so again, in a game like this, I personally have no problem paying for the skins. I mean, that's how they make their money post just buying the game. Um, but I do just hope that they don't make, oh, buy this one skin is $20. This one skin is $20. Hey, this is a special anniversary skin. This one's gonna be $35, and it's just one skin. If they did bundles for $10, $15, maybe that's cool. I personally probably wouldn't pay more than $15 for skins, and that even 15 will have to be a bundle. If it's just gonna be one skin, I probably wouldn't pay more than $10 for it, honestly, and I have to really really like the skin. Um, but they're gonna add more characters going forward, so I guess depending on the character and more skins come out, I can say all this now, but if it's a skin that I really really enjoy, again, they will probably get my money for it. But overall, I really enjoyed this game. This game is getting a lot of hate online for many reasons that just doesn't make sense to me personally. I love this game. It was fun. It was a nice change of pace. The story wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. It has its holes, but it's enjoyable to play through it. It's nice and quick story, which 50-50 on. I wish there was a little more, but knowing that the story isn't over does excite me. It excites me to continue to play on and on. Like if it was just 10 hours and the story started and ended, I would probably be more upset. So I like that since it was shorter, it's going to continue to progress on, because the Brainiac in the world that we're in, Earth One, is still there and still working on doing his whatever his plan was. I don't even think that the plan was told to us, so we still have more to figure out. So that excites me. So overall, Suicide Squad, I have to give this game an 8 out of 10. Again, I cannot wait for the future and what Rocksteady brings onto the game. So with all that being said, I will be releasing a video about the future, going a little bit in depth about what happens at the end of the game, and and some of what I'm thinking that Rocksteady will do. Next season they already said is Joker, and then they have hints for season 2, season 3, and season 4. So just I'm gonna give my speculations on what I think will happen. So stay tuned for that next video.